Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are tying the girdle bug, the turd, Pat's Rubberlegs, whatever you want to call it. Your fly box is incomplete without this fly on the Madison River 12 months out of the year. So there are many different styles and colors that you could tie for this fly. One of my favorites is the coffee black chenille with just a standard brown silly legs. What I like to do is tie a hot orange thread to kind of get some attention when it's in the water. And but you can tie straight black. You know, I don't think color matters as much as the profile of the fly itself. But today we're tying a coffee black Pat's Rubberlegs. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is use our Dai-Riki hook here, 700 size 6. And before you do anything at all, we're going to take our lead wrap here. This is .30 lead, a few inches of it, and we're going to wrap that around the shank of the hook. This, you're not going to want to cover the entire hook with the lead, but you're definitely going to want to cover the middle portion of it and leave a little bit of room at the end to whip finish. Once you've got that on there, then you can start your thread at the head of the fly. Get yourself 9 or 10 wraps on there. And the first thing you want to do is secure that lead to the hook shank. So go down and back a few times. And what I like to do so I don't forget right off the bat is tie on my antenna, and so I'm going to use about an inch of brown silly legs. I'm going to secure it right behind the eye of the hook, halfway down the silly legs. 3 or 4 wraps. Take the silly legs, wrap it forward, or pull it forward rather, and go over it with your thread. Secure that one. Once you've done that, go all the way to the back. And I like to wrap the thread all the way around the bend of the hook. Give it some more orange accent on the end there. Come back up to right where the shank starts to straighten out. And here we're going to tie the 2 legs coming off the back. Same thing. Secure it right in the middle of the legs. Put a few wraps down. Pull your other leg backward and grab the 2 with 2 fingers and pull, kind of straighten them out and secure them both together. 6 or 7 wraps there ought to hold it. Leave your thread there. Then you're going to take your chenille. There's probably 5 inches or so of chenille, and you're going to want to strip off the last little bit of chenille there to expose the white thread. And that's what you're going to use to secure it to the shank of the hook. Get that on there and just leave it hanging off the back of the vise. Come forward to about 1/3 of the way from the beginning of your lead wraps. And that's where you're going to start your bodied legs here. And all 3 of these legs are going to be tied, secured to the shank right in the center of each leg. So you got equal distance on either side of your thread wrap. So the first leg, you're going to tie each leg to each side of the shank. Once I've got the first one in, I'll go to the other side and secure that one in the same spot. And what that does is allows the legs on either end to point out to the beginning of the fly and to the end of the fly. And the 3rd leg is just going to go straight across the center like this. And the way you're going to secure that one was with an X wrap. Get one X in, pull the legs up to tighten that X right across the top of the leg. Pull tight and do a couple more of those. You may have to move the legs out of the way every now and then to get a good tie in. And then just come all the way forward, back to right behind the eye of the hook, Now, you're going to grab your chenille at the end of the chenille strand and you start wrapping and moving the legs out of the way as you need to. This is the most difficult part just because you have to keep continually moving those legs out of the way so you don't trap them. And once you get right up to where the legs start, you're going to want to make sure you sneak tight wraps all the way into behind that last leg, just like that. And then it should only take one chenille wrap in between each section of legs. That. And then usually I like to have one wrap in before I secure. Put a few wraps of your thread in right there after and before, just so when you cut it here it doesn't all unravel. Trim that back. Now you're going to want to build up a little bit of a head here with your orange thread. That'll help it stand out a little bit in the water column, get their attention a little bit better, and then you're just going to whip finish. Pull that nice and tight. Once you've got that all tied, then you can go back and kind of reposition your legs a little bit here. They're pretty easy to move around. And that is God's gift to the Madison River. Worth a drink.